So a rifle like this here, where we have a, you know, we're going to refer to this as a ghost ring, but it's a peep sight. It's just a larger aperture peep sight. And then this has our Lightwave H3. It's a tritium fiber optic front sight. So generally with a sight like this, you know, it's a rounded top sight, and when you're using a peep sight, this sight is going to be centered in the rear aperture. So not only is it going to be, you know, centered top side of the front sight, but essentially you're trying to center the center of the front sight in the rear sight. So there's a couple ways, you know, conventional ways to use open sights on guns. For me, especially if I'm using a peep sight, you know, where I got a circle in the back, essentially a circle in the front, and I'm going to center those up. For me, when I hunt or shoot, I sight the gun in to where the center of the front sight is my perceived point of impact. That's how I like to sight it in, and that's how I like to use it when I hunt. That way I, you know, just when I center that front sight in the rear, the center of those is where I'm aiming, or where at least I perceive the impact to go. If I was using a, you know, here we got a couple Smith & Wesson handguns. So these sights on these models, generally most handguns, are essentially a notch rear sight, a front sight, and they're all square. So your strict sight alignment's always going to be the top edge of the front sight aligned with the top edge of the back sight. So even though these have dots on them, you know, you have 3 dots, your strict sight alignment's always going to be the top edge of the front sight level with the top edge of the rear sight. So for me personally, when I use that type of sight, either to sight with or especially to hunt with, the top edge of the sights, when it's aligned, I dissect my point of impact. You know, so if I was shooting at a bullseye, that line will go center of the bullseye. And that's just my personal preference. Now, if you're shooting relatively close range, you know, you could align the 3 dots and use the center of the front dot, but the way I like to do it with a square profile front sight is I use the top edge of the sight, and then if my front sight's more of a bead, like we have here on the lever action, I use the center of the sight.